secondary standpoint. We think both these corners are as good as we've seen. Number 2 is a longer kid who plays to the boundary. Number 1 is a dynamic player, and I think they've kind of found the 2 safeties they like. So again, for us, we focus on the back end. This will be one of the better secondaries we see all year.
And it was obvious Friday, Bush, that Stanford was having issues with the noise. You could literally see offensive linemen putting their hands over their ear holes because they couldn't hear the quarterback. Now you're on the road, it's going to be loud. Talk to me about the wide receiving core and that group and how you make sure that you guys communicate out there.
Yeah, sure. We always use this term called verbal combat, and for those guys, I mean, it's just so critical. You get on the road, you got 70,000 people against you. You got to be able to communicate within one another. So I think we're aware of that. We're aware of this. What home field advantage has really been for the Pac-12 this year.
Right.
And so played at Autzen when I was a player. I know how loud that place is going to be, and we got to be able to communicate for sure.
Yeah. What about just from Jake's perspective, just the leadership that you've seen from him and the way he's kind of developed that camaraderie with that wide receiving corps?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I think from playing the quarterback position, I think it's one, obviously your off the field leadership and guys see how hard you work, and the 2 is just your execution. I mean, I think those guys see a guy that play in and play out, plays smart, he executes well, he handles the offense, and I think that kind of breeds the leadership.
Bush, great stuff. Appreciate it, man.
I really appreciate you guys.
Bush, can you talk a little bit about just what the talk's been since you guys got back together in your room and what's really been the focus, knowing that you do have to go on the road in a hostile environment and keep this thing rolling?
Yeah, we got to get better. I wasn't necessarily super pleased with us in the second half of that Stanford game. Very well aware of how big a game this is. Got to play 4 quarters of football, and so again, I've said this from day one with our position. I mean, we are different than any other group in this team. I really believe that. We had come to this thing with so much to prove, and I don't even kind of feel like we're even reaching where we need to be. So we got a long way to go.
Could you give us an example of what you weren't happy with?
Well, I just feel like we got to continue to develop. Each guy, I think, is doing certain things that they do well, and they've got to become more complete. And I think that's the biggest challenge is when you see different guys being able to do different things, then I think we get tough to stop.
How has Aaron Fuller handled these first 5 weeks as your freshman
again,
player?
I think the biggest thing he's probably taught me, from a coaching standpoint, is just a guy who's got that savvy. He came in here, he's a true freshman, he's 18 years old, all those things, but from a savvy standpoint, that guy's pretty well advanced. And a lot of times we can kind of plug and play him into different positions and do different things. So his versatility and his ability to be a savvy football player has been a huge help for us.
Good to see him get his first touchdown Friday night.
There's no doubt. And it was his birthday too, so I think that was special. But anytime you see any of these guys, just the way they work day in and day out, to be able to have an experience like that in a great environment versus a top 10 team, I think that's special.
Coach, give us a little scout